hi Tracy, it's Leslie. I did receive your email, and I'm so sorry that you're having problems with, or just kind of questions on this greater project. So I thought I would go over several of the steps in this assignment, including step 6, and hopefully it will help answer some of the questions that you have and help you continue to move forward. So I've done some of the steps already. You can see here I did the merge and centering, and then I changed the widths of the columns. I did already also make the total sales formula, and you can see here it's just the equal sign. It always starts with the equal sign, and to get the total sales we're multiplying the quantity sold by the retail price. So maybe I'll just do this one again real quick. So I would just start with the equal sign, quantity sold, and then the multiplication symbol, and then the retail price, and then just press enter. And then I used the fill handle to copy it all the way down. So you probably got that piece already. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, and then it says here to use the quick analysis button to get our total down here. So I went ahead and selected E4 through E10, and this bottom one is our quick analysis button, and I'm looking for the totals. So I'll come over here, and I want the total below. And the nice thing is, if you just hold your mouse pointer over it without actually clicking on it, you can see kind of what's going on. So I can tell this is not the one I want, because this one is summing the rows. I want to sum this column here, so that's the one I'm going to go ahead and pick. So I'll just click on that, and then I get my total. And then I'm going to click back on E11 because they want us to do the total cell style. So I'll come back to my home tab, click on cell styles, and then choose the total style over here. Okay, so that was step 5. Now in step 6, we're going to be figuring out the percent of total sales. And remember too that these greater projects certainly go over the concepts that we learned in the book. So sometimes you can also go back to the book to see if there's any hints, or look at how we did things in like the project, like 2A, 2B, or 1A, 1B, etc., to see if you can get some help that way. In the book, they do have a little box. It's activity 1.22. They do have a little box at the end talking about how to also find a percentage of a total. So sometimes, it's just a matter of trying to figure out exactly how to kind of construct the formula as well. So I'm just kind of throwing out little options for you just so you kind of have that information. But anyway, so our percent of total sales is going to take each one of our items. So in this instance, we would take the total sales here for our condiment rack, and then we're going to divide it by the total sales for all products. So think of this as kind of a piece of the pie. This is our total pie here, and we're just trying to figure out how much of a slice each one of these takes up. So again, I'll start with my equal sign, and then I'll take my total sales for the condiment rack, which is an E4, and then I'm going to divide it by, so I'm just using the forward slash on your keyboard. That's our division symbol, and then I'm dividing it by the total sales for all products. Okay, now just like I think we talked about in class, the absolute cell reference, if I were to leave this as a regular cell reference, the minute I start copying it down, it would change this. And I always want for these formulas here in F4 through F10, I want them to always be divided by this total sales. I don't want this next one to be like E5 divided by E12. There's nothing there, so I would get that error message. Sorry. Total lapse there. So anyway, so this is where we could do that F4 on our keyboard, or just type in the dollar signs here if that's easier. And that makes this cell it's a absolute, so that no matter where we copy this, it's still going to point to E11. This one's going to change, but the reference to E11 is going to stay the same. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and press enter, and I'll come back in here, and now I can see that I have my formula set up correctly, so I'm going to use my fill handle to just pull down to F10. Now again, if we had not had this reference in here, I'm just going to kind of toggle through to make it just E11. This top one's still the same, right? But if I pull down, then that's where I start getting that error message, because as I mentioned, like this one, it went down to E5, which is correct, but now we're trying to divide by E12, which it basically, since it's blank, Excel considers that as 0. And then same thing here, it's taking E6, but now it's trying to divide by E13. So that's where we're running into problems if we don't make this an absolute reference. So again, I'll just kind of amend that, and I'll come back here, pull back down, and now I have my numbers here. So that works out pretty well. So so that is step 6. I think in step 7 they want us to make all of these a percent style, so while they're still selected, I can come back up here on my home tab and click percent, and then they want it to have 2 decimal places, so I can use my increase decimal button here and just click it 2 times, and that will put the 2 decimal places there. And then they also want us to center it. Okay, so there are obviously other steps in the grader project, but I hope for right now this at least helps you get over kind of this little hump here. So again, take a look at how I have the formula set up here. It's taking this, this particular item and dividing it by the total. This particular item dividing by the total. So we can see here, like this, the artisan rack is 26%. The napkin dispenser is only 6%, and that makes sense, right? And we're going to fix all of these numbers and everything as you go a little bit further into the exercise. But when you're looking here, you can kind of look at them to say, okay, these things are making sense. Like this one's 2,500. That's about 10%. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so again, I'm hoping that this helps you. Let me know certainly if you have any other questions. Okay, alrighty, take care.